Well, I'm Ed Ferrell. Our family's been here since 1949. My father had a donut shop on the other side of town. Got out of high school, did the service thing. About 59, we came over here and we had a chance to, one of our stores, we started a donut shop on this side of town and I took it over. Once the university came in, the whole west side, the anatomy of the west side of Santa Cruz changed. Mission Street, there was a McDonald's, a small coffee shop, a Chinese restaurant over here, and that was about the end of all of the food service on Mission Street. So you could come to the donut shop down here on the bottom of the hill, and for $1 you could probably get hot apple cider with cinnamon, a couple of donuts for $1. And they used to have a bus at the university, and they'd call down and find out when we were making something, a certain kind of donut or whatever. And they'd load a bunch of kids on this bus and they'd drive the bus down the hill, and all these kids, 50 kids, would jump out of the bus and be in the donut shop for a couple hours, jump in the bus and go back, and it was kind of an exciting time. I remember Stanford football in Palo Alto had the football team, and some of the guys, one of the guys lived here in Santa Cruz. They would call up at midnight from Palo Alto, and they loved the cinnamon rolls. And the cinnamon rolls would come out at 1 o'clock in the morning, or they would call out from Palo Alto and say, "When are you guys cinnamon rolls coming out?" We'd say, "In about an hour." They would drive from Palo Alto, come down here, be playing on the street here on Fair Street, play football at 2 o'clock in the morning, you know, probably drinking beer all the way down here. I would not be surprised. Buy, you know, $30 worth of cinnamon rolls in boxes, jump in the cars and go back to Palo Alto. Not unusual to see entertainers. We had Crosby, Stills, Nash, Carlos Santana, the Doobies. They started over here and they lived out in SoCal. I remember when they were broke, had nothing. Famous writers would come in. The president of the University of California itself, the entire chancellor of the entire system, came in the donut shop several times, and Kerr was, I think, his name. Somebody who had been doing the editing for Gone with the Wind was here sitting at one of these tables talking to these students about Gone with the Wind. I mean, it was like, whoa. One of the Gustos came, they were in Moss Landing, and they came over for something. And there was 3 or 4 of them just sitting here. Neil Young used to come in every day. So Clint Eastwood, and they were sitting here right in this corner over here. And they were just having some coffee. They'd just done a shot down the street here on West Cliff Drive in the house where the Sandra Lockett in the movie shot somebody or whatever. They're sitting here. And so all these kids were from Bethany Bible College. There were about 20 kids from Bethany Bible College. And he says, got to talking to him and all that, and he says, "Look, you come down, and after I'm through shooting on the boardwalk, I'll take my picture with you." And so the final scenes of that movie, Clint Eastwood shooting guys left and right, you know, like he does in a movie, bang, 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 and all these Bethany Bible College kids are lined up along the side singing Christian songs. It was hilarious. And he says, I couldn't hardly do it without wanting to laugh, and they were having so much fun singing these songs. It was a place where people weren't intimidated. The police used to be in the back having coffee all night too. They never felt threatened, and I am absolutely sure that some people were inhaling some herbs that in some cases you might just think they were a little illegal. All these West Side kids would come in the morning here at 5 o'clock going surfing. Sometimes the moms would be taking them down to go surfing. Jack O'Neill, he was starting his little deal of wetsuits on the Cowles Beach there, and I kept telling him, I said, this is the craziest thing I ever heard with these wetsuits. They were doing plastic bags with tape on them, and he had all these, and I told him, one time we were just talking, and you got to put a zipper in the thing or it's never going to work. He put a zipper in it. O'Neill and Jack, you know, now he's lives out in one of the biggest surfboard makers in the world in wetsuits. So the guy sitting next to him goes, "Hey, would you pass the sugar, please?" You kind of bump, "Hey, would you pass the sugar?" And the guy goes, "Oh, sure," and he hands him the sugar, and there's some cream or whatever. Alfred Hitchcock. You still have those morning people, you still have your night kids come in, but the difference now is that everybody has their laptop or they're texting or something like that. I guess the thing, I don't see them talking. People just don't talk. I try to look on the bright side personally of all the people that come through. People try to be too negative, I think, nowadays. My wife and I personally have been blessed to be, it's like I've grown up in Santa Cruz. We can travel to different, there's nothing like Santa Cruz. Any place I've gone to in California, Santa Cruz is just, other than a freshwater lake here, the ocean and the redwoods, the people, I find the university personally pretty stimulating to me. There's things that I'm sure I disagree with if I sat down and thought about it. But are we going to agree on everything in this world? I think it'd be pretty boring, wouldn't it? We'd all be eating the same pizza or something.